So obviously you're going to be two people that most of the Yellow Army are going to know very, very well, but maybe you could just introduce yourselves.
I don't know if anyone will know who we are, but there we are. They do it now and again. I'm Charlie Baker. I've been a Torquay United fan since I was 10 years old. My first ever game was Burnley 0, Torquay United 0, all 1-1. I can never remember, but I did recently get the programme for it, which I was very excited about, because Andy Charles, who's a big Torquay United fan, gave me the link of how to find any programme ever that you ever want. So ask him if you want a programme. Yes, I'm a talkSPORT presenter and comedian.
I'm John Cadigan, talkSPORT producer. My first game was Torquay 1, Scarborough 0, 1997, September. I can't remember who scored. I want to say Lee Barrow.
Lee Barrow, yeah, he went. Yeah, I think he did. And I think he may have even gone on to play for Barrow. Which
Really?
I don't know if that. We'll find that out further on. We do have a podcast called The National Obsession as well, which is not a Torquay United podcast, Dom. Don't throw that away. There are plenty of Torquay United podcasts out there. Yep. We don't need any more of those. We're a National League podcast. But we're thrilled you've asked us to commentate on the game on Saturday away at Bromley. Very, very excited.
Yes, you've just touched upon it there, Charlie. So we've got this really exciting link up, haven't we, on Saturday, where you two guys are going to be taking over TUFC Radio for the day. So tell us about how's it going to work?
Well, we've no idea. We've no idea. I am a long time, as a sort of exiled fan, a long time listener to TUFC Radio. Most of the National League, a lot of the National League South, I would listen walking my dog around the certain field as I listened to Ray and Dave commentate on our promotion, which is very exciting. And then, of course, the streams as well. We love the streams. But Saturday, look, I've never commentated on anything before in my life. John, you've done some co-coms.
I've done some BBC Devon expert summarising, which, as I've said numerous times, spot the obvious flaw with that.
I heard it, John, and you were very, very good.
Yeah, I know, but I've never kicked a football in anger.
I know, but you can look at someone who has.
So yeah, I have done that, and radio is my career, always has been. It's my thing. So I would say I'm the
you're the more experienced one of the two. We have been asking a lot of, obviously where we work at talkSPORT, we've got a lot of experienced commentators around. Ian Danter, Nigel Adderley, Sam Matterface, all sorts. Peter Drury pops in now and again. Clive Tilsley is around all the time. So, centuries of experience in the commentary game.
They picked the wrong talkSPORT broadcast.
I think you got the wrong number, but I've been really practicing. I've written down all the players' names. I did ask John if I have to learn the Bromley players' names as well, and he said I do. Don't I? I have to do.
It's sort of just a bit of basic professionalism, I think.
Yeah,
people want to know.
I mean, I just want to say the Torquay players. I like Torquay United is the thing. So, I hope that, if any new players turn up by Saturday, it's going to be, obviously exciting because we're going to have new players. But, I've been practicing saying Armani Little, which isn't that hard to say. So why am I even practicing that? This is the level of in-depth stuff you'll get. But we're going to give it a really good go, especially now it's on telly as well.
You're filling me with confidence and obviously enthusiasm. So, I mean, it's going to be very much an alternative commentary. I think it's going to be nothing like anything we've seen before on TUFC Radio. I think that's for sure, isn't it?
It's going to be pretty biased, I think.
It's going to be, as I say, I've done a few commentaries before. I remember one at Ebbsfleet when Jamie Reid scored a fairly late goal and it was a worldie. And I went absolutely berserk and then had to remember that I was in the press box in the Ebbsfleet stand and a few Ebbsfleet fans were quite unhappy. So from my experience, we have got to be sort of impartial.
Yeah, the only time I've ever heard myself at a match is when we do the podcast now and again. We'll go to a game and do an episode at a game. And the games we've done are Woking 3, Torquay 3. And so we've got the moment that Ben Winter scores that amazing goal in the 91st minute, whatever it was, to send us all into delirium. We've got that on as part of the podcast, and we just sound like absolute idiots. So the thing I think I'm going to not cope with is when we score 3 of 4 of our goals in sort of keeping it down, because I've been told the press box is a very serious place, not allowed to wear team colours, because I was going to wear this, but I've been told not allowed to wear any team colours. John's told me that.
that is the rule, isn't it, Dom? You've been in press boxes. You do generally have to.
Even if you're TUFC Radio, Dom.
Well, I mean, that is generally the rule of thumb. But anybody that saw me at Ashton Gate when Lucas went up for the header, I'm not sure I was abiding by those guidelines then. But anyway, move on. And actually, John, I do remember your commentary from the Ebbsfleet match. So, and Charlie, let's face it, you're not any stranger to even last season. I seem to remember that you made your way to a few games, didn't you?
I did get to a few games. I was at Sholing FC. I was the only Torquay United away fan, which if you watch the goal, Josh O'Meara scoring from more or less the halfway line, I'm the only one behind the goal in the pouring rain. I absolutely blowing my cover. It absolutely immediately blew it. Just, oh no, they know I'm here. Yes, and I got to Sutton United. What a night that was. Sutton United away when Ace Hall scored that header, which we all thought, this is it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I won't carry on about the rest of the season. But yes, I cheered the team off. And you're
giving them a one-man sort of send-off.
One-man Gary Johnson, Yellow Army as they came off. Joe Lewis gave it, come on, you goals. It was a really exciting night. It's been a real privilege to just through work to be able to turn up to a lot of games that not everybody could. So always tried to do my best for the Yellows. And we will give you pretty biased commentary. We might not all get all the players' names right. You might not know who's on the ball.
No Ashton Gate.
There'll be no Ashton Gate.
It's
Ashton Gate free zone. So, but we're looking forward to it, Dom.
Well, it sounds fantastic. I mean, we'll just get some of the basics out. You know where Bromley is? We haven't got, we're not going to.
I've been to Hayes Lane. I've been to Hayes Lane before, yeah.
Excellent. Well, that sounds fantastic. And what do you think what are you expecting from the Bromley match on Saturday? Because we've had, next week had a fantastic result on Saturday, beating Wilston 5-0. Didn't go our way against Borehamwood, but wouldn't it just be like Gary's team to bounce back on Saturday?
We really would. It really would. I mean, it's a plastic pitch, which always used to do us in, but last season proved that we can play on plastic. So that isn't. I don't think that will come into play, to be honest. It depends. They're on a good run of form. They've won the last 4. Michael Cheek scored 8 in 8 games, but runs come to an end, Dom, as you know. And if there's the one thing Torquay United are good at is ending people's good runs. Borehamwood, John, you were there, and it sounded like they beat us up, basically.
They did a little bit, but the first half an hour, I thought it was more than even. We had a couple of half chances, and if one of those had gone in, it's a different game. So.
Penalty after half time, that's bad luck, isn't it?
If we can sort of take our chances, you never know. And it was almost, I believe, a year to the day since we played at Bromley last season.
John?
And Danny Wright scored that penalty in about the 94th minute.
This is where he's done it before, you see, Dom. There, I'm just guessing at stats and people's names, and John's got facts and figures in front of him.
You always need a facts and figures, man. And actually, that brings me very nice onto my next point. It's just promise me one thing: you won't go early. With Gary time, it can happen at any time. Gary
do you know what? I understand people who leave football matches early. We missed the traffic. What have you come for? What have you even come to the match for? You're here for the match, not to get home. I never understand it.
Commentators go early as well. That's not very professional.
Real sign of a bad game. Imagine if Clive Tilsley had left before Sheringham and Solskjaer had scored those goals against Bayern Munich in the 90s.
Barcelona traffic.
Traffic's a nightmare in Barcelona this time of night. Nightmare.
And of course, we just mentioned about Gary time. Gary Johnson, the man himself, is no stranger to talkSPORT, is he?
No, we had him on today, actually. We had him on the show today, and he's such a positive man, and he fills you with positivity. And you come away whenever I've spoken to him, I've always come away feeling about a foot taller. And I can see how he gets into players' heads very, very much. So he's really good confidence coach, and I think he knows where perhaps the team isn't quite clicking at the moment. But we've had one difficult result in the last 4, and the thing about him, he knows what he's doing. I have a theory that some managers are guessing, some managers know what they're doing, and I 100% think Gary knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly who to get in, how to change a team, and Aaron Downs as well. I can't say enough about Aaron Downs as well. I think he's been phenomenal assistant manager.
You did say to Gary on the show this afternoon as well. I think we're doing the post-match interviews with Gary, aren't we?
Are we done? Are we doing the post-match?
Right? Hey, look, I think the main thing is if you bring home the 3 points, you'll probably have access to all areas. You may never see me again, to be fair.
Well, we did ask Paul did ask the question,
If the result doesn't go our way, which is not going to happen, but in the worst case scenario, it doesn't, would Gary like a cuddle after the game? That was
am I allowed to ask that,
That was
Dom?
a new service that you're providing.
Would you like a cuddle? Is that a good opening question?
It's not a bad one. I'm not sure it's one that we've used before. But it's, hey, look, you guys are going to be on charge on Saturday, so let's see how it goes.
He wasn't that up for it, we will say that. But look, I think that's because we're going to win. So it'll be a cuddle of jubilation.
Wasn't even a consideration.
Wasn't a consideration. Yeah. We're going to win the game. It's going to be absolutely fine.
Well, guys, I have to say I am thoroughly looking forward to it, as I know the Yellow Army will be. And anybody that is actually tuning in, and why wouldn't you? It's going to start at 2:50 via the Torquay United website. So just go on to www.torquayunited.com, click on the link for TUFC Radio, and lo and behold, at 2:50, there will Charlie and John will be waiting for your company.
Full script in hand. All the Bromley players' names, we'll get those exactly right. They've got a Cheek. They've got what else? They got Bush. Got all sorts. I mean, it could go downstairs very quickly, but we'll try not to let it do. And we're really looking forward to it. Thank you for the opportunity, Sir Alan.
Well, Charlie and John, thank you for joining me today, and the very best of luck on Saturday.
Yellow Army!